Welcome back to our 2025 Native Hawaiian Convention. And, while we were here, there's been so much talk in the workshops and also here in the last 3 days on Island Life Live about bringing our Hawaiian people back home to Hawaii. And when you do that, got to make sure we have houses for them. And so this week begins a brand new segment called Ask the Contractor. In fact, you're going to be seeing it today for the first time. It'll premiere here. And then starting next week, you'll get a chance to see this every Tuesday. Wonderful tips and tricks and things we need to know that we can ask contractors as we are either building or remodeling. So here's our very, very first talk story with H1 Construction. So grateful to be here with H1 Construction Hawaii. We're talking story with our general contractor and owner of the company. This is Lucas Stensland. And with him is our construction manager. This is Jozef Pikula. Guys, thank you so much for letting me come and hang out in your offices, in your beautiful space that you folks work in here. And you folks work here, you folks create here, you folks help guide your clients into the best builds possible. And I love it. Now, we're starting something new at Island Life Live, which is totally interesting and just totally good fun. This is a segment called Ask a Contractor, and it was actually created by Lucas. Tell us why, brother.
Well, we're here to give a little bit of a peek behind the curtain in construction. I think it's widely important for people to understand where their money's going, which kind of leads us into, we build with integrity through transparency. It starts off with trust. If you don't have the trust, that builds a more uncertainty. With uncertainty builds hesitation. So we really like to start off with a big collaborative team from the start.
So I think asking the contractor, especially this segment right here, is going to give people an opportunity to do that in a safe environment. Now let's dive in a little bit to that model, the importance about transparency. Why is that so important, most especially in the construction industry?
Building with transparency, with integrity is huge for us. It's really just being upfront, showing the client transparency into where their finances are going, right? Where is every dollar being spent? A huge part of construction even till now is here's your blueprints, build it, just send me money. And those they don't really equate. They equate to problems and people being not having the trust that they need in that process, right?
Right.
We do meetings every 2 weeks. We're meeting with the client, an OAC meeting, owner, architect, contractor meeting to walk through that process. But all of that is kind of a better segue into how the process starts. And I like to explain it to the clients. I have kids, and when I'm building Legos with my kids, I can tell you how far the Lego kit would go without the instructions, right?
Right.
Not very far, swept under the bed or,
stepping on it.
Yeah.
2 days later. So I know you guys are talking about the blueprint. The blueprint is kind of like the Bible of the build, but we got to talk money first, right, Joseph?
That's correct.
And why is that important? Because I tend to think that sometimes some contractors, they like to add extra monies halfway through the build. And that happens a lot. But I think sometimes that's tough for families, right? Tell us a little bit about the importance of budget.
That is actually excellent point. So it is a two-way streets. Contractors does do that. They add money towards the half of build or end of the build because they underbid the project. So as Lucas mentioned earlier, our transparency and our legwork before we get into the contract is extremely important, and that comes with the budget too. The expectation versus the budget. We all have the expectations of, going to buying a car. That's his analogy. He likes to use it. You want to get fully loaded car for 70% of the price. And we tend as a people have the same mentality about everything. With the house too. We want to have nicest cabinets, nicest appliances and everything else. Here we come as a contractors, we want to fulfill your dream, but your budget is XYZ and your expectation is right here. And that's why it's extremely important to bring the expectation with the budget so we can meet. So we sit down, we go through all the line items. Okay, we can spend more money on this, we can save more money on this, and everything is just transparent. There's no adding money after the fact unless a homeowner will change their mind, they want to upgrade something, or we run into the issues.
And I think that's what's going to be crucial as we come along to future segments of Ask a Contractor, is being able to work with a construction company, a general contractor that is transparent and open like H1 Construction Hawaii. So I'm excited. We got new segments coming up, and it's all based on your questions. So make sure you send those questions in. You're seeing it right at the bottom of your screen there, how you can get your questions to us, and we'll get those taken care of. We'll get those answered in the upcoming segments. Is that cool?
That sounds really exciting. Yeah, I'm happy to answer them. I think one of the things that we could really get into too is the difference between, say, a design build company and design assist.
Shh, you're giving away too much. They have to tune in for the next segment right here on Island Life Live. Ask a Contractor with H1 Construction Hawaii.